Ndikulandireni pano pa Parliament Broadcasting lero lachitatu pa 5 August 2026. Dzina langa ndi Chikondi Manjawira Kachere. Tikupitiriza kukupatsirani tsatanetsatane wa zokambirana za phungu zachitatu mu mkumano wa nambala 52 wa Nyumba ya Malamulo. Tiyeni tione ndondomeko yoyendetsera zokambiranazi lero. Ndondomeko yoyendetsera zokambirana za phungu za Nyumba ya Malamulo lero ikuonetsa kuti aphungu a Nyumba ya Malamulo ayamba zokambirana zawo pofunsa mafunso ku maunduna osiyanasiyana. Ena mwa maunduna omwe akuyembekezeka kuyankha mafunsowa ndi monga unduna wa maphunziro, science ndi technology, unduna owona za umoyo komanso unduna owona zofalitsa nkhani. Ndondomekoyi ikusonyezanso kuti aphungu afunsa mafunso motsogozedwa ndi gawo 69 la malamulo oyendetsera zokambirana za aphungu. Ndipo phungu wa Lilongwe Msinja South akuyembekezeka kubweretsa nkhani yofunika ku dziko motsogozedwa ndi gawo 14 la malamulo oyendetsera zokambirana za aphungu. Tikuyembekezanso kuti nduna ziwiri zipereka mayankho a malipoti a makomiti omwe adaperekedwa kale m'nyumbayi. Komanso makomiti osiyanasiyana a nyumbayi akuyembekezeka kupereka malipoti awo. Nyumbayi ikuyembekezanso kumva malipoti kuchokera kwa nthumwi zomwe zinayimirira Nyumba ya Malamulo pa ntchito zosiyanasiyana m'mayiko akunja. Ndipo kumbali ya boma ndondomekoyi ikusonyeza kuti kukhala lipoti lochokera ku nduna owona za mayendedwe ndi ntchito za boma, mabilu komanso malamulo ang'onoang'ono omwe nduna zimapereka zitapatsidwa mphamvu ndi Nyumba ya Malamulo. Well, if you're just joining us, welcome to Parliament Broadcasting. Today, Wednesday, the 5th of August 2026. We continue with our live broadcast of the third meeting in the 52nd session of Parliament. Let us take a look at today's expected business in the House according to the order paper. The House is expected to commence its business with questions on notice with questions to ministers for oral replies. Among the ministries to take questions are Ministry of Education, Science and Technology, Ministry of Health and Sanitation, as well as Ministry of Information and Communications Technology. The House is also expected to tackle questions under Standing Order 69, as well as a matter of urgent public importance under Standing Order 14. The order paper also indicates that a number of ministers will present responses to committee reports. Still under general business, we expect presentation of committee reports and presentation of delegation reports. And under government business, the House is expected to tackle a ministerial statement, bills, and statutory reports. As you can see on your screen, the Speaker's procession is already in the chamber. We now cross over for today's deliberations. My name is Chikondi Manjawira Kachere. Stay tuned.
Let us pray. Almighty God, who in your wisdom and godness has appointed the office of rulers and parliaments for the welfare of society and the just government of the people, we ask you to behold with abundant favor as your servants whom you have been pleased to call to the performance of important trust in this land. Let your blessing descend upon us here assembled, and grant that we may treat and consider all matters that shall come under our deliberations in so just and faithful a manner as to promote your honor and glory, and to advance the peace, prosperity, and the welfare of this country, and of those whose interests you have committed to our church. Amen.
General business, communication from the chair.
Good afternoon, honor members and the leader and all the leaders from both sides of the aisle, honor ministers, chairpersons of parliamentary committees, and all honorable colleagues in the House. I would like to welcome you all to a Wednesday afternoon as we continue our business in the House. Just to reaffirm that this House, and Malawi is hosting the CPA Africa Summit, starting on the 9th to the 16th. We are all hosting, and the Right Honorable Speaker is the president of the African CPA, and as I speak, he's busy engaging in meetings to make sure the CPA is a success story. Let's all join hands, join leaders, leader of opposition, leader of the House and the leader of opposition in supporting the Right Honorable Speaker in hosting. To our corporate partners, since our announcements this week, we've received quite a lot of support. We will be making those submissions. The Right Honorable Speaker will be making acknowledgements. We ask those that would like to support us, please support. Even at individual level, we can't support the activities of the CPA. That's the end of my communication. Thank you. Leader?
Good afternoon, Mr. First Deputy Speaker, and the entire House. Welcome back. Today, the First Deputy Speaker will proceed with bills. So it will be government business B, bills, starting with bill number 14. And you want me to move a motion, right? Yes, so First Deputy Speaker, I beg to move that the order paper be varied in order for the House to consider government business B, bills, starting with bill number 14. I beg to move.
Thank you, Leader. Honour members, we have a motion on the floor. The motion is to vary the order paper. To vary the order paper for us to concentrate on the government business B1 bills. Those of that opinion say aye. Those of the contrary opinion say no. The ayes have it, the motion is carried.
Government business, item 3B, bills. First reading, bill number 14 of 2026, pension amendment.
Thank you very much. Honour Minister of Finance, welcome to the House. Honour Minister, bill number 14 of yeah, that's what I'm asking. Honour Minister, the bill number 14 of 2026 has satisfied the 7-day rule, but it did not satisfy the 28-day notice. I request you to move the House and explain the reasons why you would want to table the bill today. Honourable Minister of Finance.
Good afternoon, Mr. First Deputy Speaker. Indeed, I would like to beg to move that all relevant standing orders to allow me to present Bill number 14 of 2026, Pension Amendment. As I've said, Mr. First Deputy Speaker, the bill has satisfied 7 days minimum, a number of days, but it has not satisfied the 28 days. I therefore ask the August House that we vary the standing order that I present this important bill, a bill that is dealing with unclaimed funds held by pension funds, provident funds, and pension entities, so that they are administered in a clear, consistent, and transparent manner. And this bill is very important, Mr. President Speaker. So I beg to move.
Very much. Honour members, we have a motion on the floor. The motion is to waive the 28-day notice so that the Honourable Minister of Finance should be allowed to table Bill number 14 of 2026 for the reasons that he has highlighted. Those of that opinion say aye. Those of the contrary opinion say no. The ayes have it. The motion is carried.
Bills, second reading, Bill number 14 of 2026, Pension Amendment.
Honour Minister, second reading when?
Mr. First Deputy Speaker, today and now.
The question is to request that second reading of Bill number 14 of 2026 to be taken today and now. Those of that opinion say aye. Those of the contrary opinion say no. The ayes have it, and the motion is carried. Honour Minister. Honour Minister, for the second reading. Second reading when? Second reading. You've already done that.
Mr. First Deputy Speaker, I beg to move that the Pension Amendment Bill 2026 be now read for the second time. Mr. First Deputy Speaker, the bill amends Pension Act 2023 to align the treatment of unclaimed funds within the pension sector, Public Finance Management Act 2022. It is part of a wider package of amendments aimed at bringing consistency on how unclaimed monies are administered across the Malawi financial sector. Mr. First Deputy Speaker, government's assessment of unclaimed monies held across the financial sector identified the pension sector as an area requiring alignment with the Public Finance Management Act of 2022. While the Pension Act 2023 does not make provision for the management of unclaimed funds, the treatment does not currently mirror the framework Parliament established under the Public Finance Management Act for the administration of unclaimed monies. This bill, therefore, intends to harmonize the Pension Act 2023 with the Public Finance Management Act 2022 regarding treatment of unclaimed monies, provident funds, and pension entities. Content of the bill. Mr. First Deputy Speaker, the bill in Section 2 amends Section 117 of the Principal Act by inserting a new Section 117A, which provides that any funds of a pension fund or provident fund under compulsory winding up that remain unclaimed after the final distribution to members and creditors shall be administered in accordance with the Public Finance Management Act of 2022. Section 3 inserts a new section 129A into the Principal Act that provides that any funds of a pension entity under compulsory winding up that remain unclaimed after the final distribution shall likewise be administered in accordance with the Act of 2022. Finally, Section 4 replaces Section 140 or 140 of the Principal Act, requiring a trustee of a pension fund or a provident fund to administer any unclaimed money held by the trustee in accordance with Public Financial Management Act 2022 and adopting the definition of unclaimed money as assigned under the Public Finance Management Act. With regard to impact, Mr. Deputy Speaker, this bill ensures that unclaimed pension savings, whether arising from winding up of a pension fund or from a provident fund or pension entity, or accumulating in the hands of a trustee over time, are administered under the same clear, uniform, and standard that applies to all unclaimed money generally. In conclusion, Mr. Deputy Speaker, unclaimed funds held by pension funds, provident funds, and pension entities need to be administered in a clear, consistent, and transparent manner, just like other unclaimed monies. This bill will bring the Pension Act into line or in line with the same adopted standards. I therefore urge the honorable members of the August House to support the bill. Mr. Deputy Speaker, I beg to move.
Thank you very much, Honourable Minister of Finance. I will be recognizing the spokespersons, but before that I was seeing there was an honourable member on a point of order. Is it the honourable member for Zomba Chikomwe constituency, who is the chairperson of the Agriculture Committee? What has gone out of order, sir?
Honourable Speaker, I rise on a point of concern. First of all, let me congratulate you the way you handled the House yesterday regarding the bills which we passed yesterday, almost 6 or 7 of them. And I hope today we may also proceed in that manner. My concern, First Deputy Speaker, is that one is the noise which normally erupts in this House. These are very important bills, government bills, which we need to understand as honorable members. But as of yesterday, I've seen a lot of provocation from both sides of the House, unnecessary point of orders, and a lot of noise. These bills, First Deputy Speaker, they are very crucial to the country. And we, as honorable members, we need to understand the technical aspects of these bills. It's not a question of standing up in this August House and make noise. People out there are watching us. They want us to explain what these bills are all about. So my plea to all honorable members in this House, through you, sir, is to ask the members, let's have peace in this House. Let's have order in this House.
Thank you.
Thank you, honorable member.
Thank you very much, Honorable Chair. In agreement with you, I seriously would like to agree that we need to follow the decorum of this House. We've always emphasized, and today has started so well, and I pray it continues like that. But in every classroom, there's one that would want always. I'm not trying to refer to you as a student, but even at classroom, there's always a student that comes on top of matters. So if that time arrives, the consequences will follow at the very same time. But I would like to agree with you, Honourable Member. I recognize the Honourable Member for Lilongwe Piranjuzi to speak on behalf of the Malawi Congress Party.
Thank you so much, Right Honorable First Deputy Speaker, for granting me the floor to respond to the bill ably presented by the Honorable Minister of Finance, Economic Planning and Decentralization. As usual, I feel greatly indebted to the leadership for granting me this platform to respond to the bill on behalf of the mighty Malawi Congress Party. The bill before us, Right Honorable First Deputy Speaker, seeks to harmonize the Pension Act of 2023 with the Public Finance Management Act of 2022, so that unclaimed funds in pension funds, in provident funds, and pension entities are surrendered to government. They are credited to account number 1 or consolidated fund. This bill, Mr. First Deputy Speaker, envisages two scenarios under which unclaimed money would arise. Number 1 is a situation where the pension fund, provident fund, or pension entity undergoes compulsory liquidation. So after the money has been distributed to the creditors and to the members of the fund, the remaining money, the remaining funds that remain unclaimed should be credited to account number 1. Basically, this is exactly what we also did when we passed the Financial Services Amendment Bill yesterday, whereby we said that upon compulsory liquidation, the unclaimed funds that remain and distributed to the creditors and to the members must be credited to the account number 1. So really, this is consistent with the other laws or what we are really doing in the financial sector with regard to unclaimed funds. The second scenario, First Deputy Speaker, is a scenario whereby beneficiaries of a pension fund cannot be traced. And instead of having these unclaimed funds held by trustees of the fund, we are saying that they have to be credited to account number 1. And this indeed is consistent with what we are doing with other laws, even the bills that we've already passed. Before I resume my seat, First Deputy Speaker, I know we have already spoken so much on these bills because these bills are related. Most of these amendments are consequential. I wanted to submit what other people were saying because people are following our discussions. Of course, I know that government usually faces cash flow challenges. It's squeezed all the time. They're always looking for money. Any government, any administration. Public funds are never enough, are never adequate because of the demand for social services provision to the people. But some people are suggesting that probably in the future, when the economy improves, it's important that we create a sovereign fund so that resources such as the unclaimed funds could be credited to that fund other than pouring all these resources to account number 1. I said yesterday that account number 1 is like a black hole. It's a bottomless hole. And sometimes there are issues of abuse when it comes to utilization of the public funds. And so some people are saying if we could create a sovereign wealth fund so that all these resources we're getting, these unclaimed funds could be deposited therein, I think it would be better for the country and even for the future generations. But I think at the moment, because of the way the economy is, government needs money all the time. So I think it's all right. Let's harmonize our laws to the Public Finance Management Act so that all these unclaimed funds are credited to account number 1. With those very few remarks, First Deputy Speaker, as my Congress Party, we fully support this bill. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, honourable members. Let's start by the chairperson so that we should catch up and then come back to the debate. Because the speaker has received a report coming from the chairperson of the budget, the Joint Committee of Budget and Finance, and the Legal Affairs. So the chairperson will bring in the substance, and then I'll recognize members to debate on the chairperson's report. Chairperson, you have the floor.
Thank you, Right Honorable Deputy Speaker. I don't know whether Chairperson will have to bring all the meat, because the rationale of the bill, Right Honorable Deputy Speaker, is not different from the ones that we have been processing the last few days. And the committee is satisfied that Bill 14 of 2026 addresses the important legislative gap by harmonizing the Pension Act of 2023 with the Public Finance Management Act of 2022, because the bill establishes a more coherent framework for managing unclaimed pension benefits whilst preserving the continued rights of lawful beneficiaries. So the value of this amendment will really be measured by its implementation, like the other bills. The regulations will have to be clear. Beneficiary tracing must be genuine and exhaustive, and the claims process must be accessible, and the institutions responsible must remain accountable. These safeguards, Right Honorable Deputy Speaker, are necessary because the funds in question represent the deferred earnings and lifetime savings of Malawian workers. Accordingly, the Joint Parliamentary Committee on Legal Affairs and Budget recommends that this House do pass Bill number 14 of 2026, the Pension Amendment Act. And with these remarks, Right Honorable Deputy Speaker, allow me to present the report to the House for adoption. I beg to move.
Thank you very much, Chairperson. May I recognize a seconder from the committee? Seconder. I see the honourable member for Doa Mpudru constituency. Are you rising for secondment? Please, you have the floor, sir. Chair spoke for 4 minutes, so secondment should be less than the chair. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. First Deputy Speaker. I rise to second the motion moved by the Honorable Co-Chairperson and Joint Parliamentary Committee on Legal Affairs and Budget regarding the committee's report on Bill number 14 of 2026, Pension Amendment. The Joint Committee carefully examined the purpose and implications of the bill and engaged officials from the Ministry of Finance, Economic Planning and Decentralization, and the Reserve Bank of Malawi. The committee was satisfied that the proposed amendment is intended to harmonize the Pension Act 2023 with the Public Finance Management Act 2022 in the administration of unclaimed pension benefits. Mr. First Deputy Speaker, I support the committee's finding that a consistent legal framework will improve the administration and the accountability of unclaimed monies. However, this harmonization must never obscure the central principle that the pension benefits are private savings belonging to workers and their lawful beneficiaries. For that reason, I particularly endorse the assurance that the amendment does not extinguish ownership and does not deprive a beneficiary of the right to recover an unclaimed benefit. The proposed framework must preserve that right in practice by providing claims process that is timely, transparent, affordable, and easy to understand. I also support the committee's call for comprehensive regulations and operational guidelines. This should clearly define the responsibilities of pension trustees, pension fund administrators, the registrar of financial institutions, and the authorities responsible for administering unclaimed funds under the Public Finance Management Act. Mr. First Deputy Speaker, before a pension benefit is classified as unclaimed, trustees must make genuine and reasonable efforts to trace and notify the beneficiary. The 7-year period should not become a substitute for active trading. Transfer of the funds should occur only after the available identification and the notification mechanism have been fully utilized. The committee is also correct to emphasize public awareness and accessibility. Beneficiaries in rural areas, such as women, children, persons with disabilities, and other vulnerable persons, may struggle to obtain the information or navigate the complex administrative requirements. Government and the Reserve Bank of Malawi must therefore ensure that information and claim services are available through accessible channels across the country. Finally, implementation should be continuously monitored. Parliament expects the Ministry and the Reserve Bank to identify and resolve operational challenges before they prevent rightful beneficiaries from accessing their savings. Mr. First Deputy Speaker, for these reasons, I fully support the Joint Committee recommendations that this Honorable House should pass Bill number 14 of 2026, Pension Amendment, subject to the safeguards and implementation measures set out in the committee's report. I therefore second the motion that the report of the Joint Parliamentary Committee on Legal Affairs and Budget on Bill number 14 of 2026, Pension Amendment, be considered and adopted by this Honorable House. I thank you.
Honorable Seconder, you highlighted to say you are submitting pertaining to the issues that are raised in the report. Is your report different from what the minister has presented? Are you proposing amendments? No?
Of the chair of the committee.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Honourable members, the report has been ably seconded. I will recognize members on the floor for debate on the report. The Honourable Member for Rumpi Central. Rumpi Central, you have the floor.
Thank you, Right Honourable First Deputy Speaker, for giving me the opportunity to comment on Bill 14, which has been ably presented by the Minister of Finance, Economic Planning and Decentralization. We all know that takes a lot of sweat, stress, and strong exertion of effort for workers to accumulate pensions for themselves. Ideally, we expect the workers to fully enjoy and exhaust their hard-earned money in their lifetime. In cases where the legitimate worker dies earlier or are not available to enjoy their monies, it makes a lot of sense that such monies should be redirected to their respective next of kin. If that option is not obtainable, it makes logical sense to channel such unclaimed funds to a basket that serves the common good of the citizenry. It is with this understanding that we believe in and support the hypothesis on the table to channel this money to the public funds via the Public Finance Management Act framework. I appeal, therefore, through you, First Deputy Speaker, that given the efforts leading to the accumulation of these funds, that there be intentional efforts to ensure that such funds eventually end up to efficiently serve the common person and with priority for social needs such as food for those who don't have, medicine for the marginalized, fees for the needy students, and welfare for those living with disabilities and many more such kind of our citizens. I also know, First Deputy Speaker, from experience that most workers keep changing jobs throughout their career, and with this, sometimes they don't always remember which pension is held with which pension company. It is important that throughout the administration of pensions, pension companies need to periodically contact and update the owners of the pension funds to minimize the risk of occurrence of unclaimed pension funds. Otherwise, First Deputy Speaker, given the outlined objective of this bill and with the promise of the harmonization with the Financial Services Act and given the harmonization of the Pension Act and the Public Finance Management Act, I fully support the Pension Amendment Bill, and as such, I submit. Thanks, First Deputy Speaker.
Thank you. Actually, you've supported the report of the committee. First Leader.
First Deputy Speaker, I beg to move that debate on the report presented by the Budget and Finance Committee be curtailed in order for the chairperson to wind up. I beg to move.
Thank you, Leader. Honourable members, we have a motion. The motion is to request curtailment of debate on the report by the chairperson for the chairperson to wind up. Those of that opinion say aye. Aye. Those of the contrary opinion say no. The ayes have it, the motion is carried. Chairperson.
Thank you, Right Honourable Deputy Speaker. Just to thank Rumpi Central for the kind sentiments to the report and his support for adoption. Allow me, Deputy Speaker, maybe just also to say one thing, that the process perhaps needs to be straightened out to members, that the debate of the report is different from the report of the bill. Otherwise, we'll end up mixing the two. As chair, we intend to move at a faster pace because most of these bills we extensively discussed the rationale yesterday, and we'll continue and ride on the same rationale as we did yesterday, so that perhaps we dispose of the many other amendments that this House needs to process. I wanted to submit as such, Right Honourable Deputy Speaker. Having said that, I beg to move that the report now be adopted by the House. I beg to move.
Thank you, Chair. Honourable members, there is a motion on the floor. The motion is for the House to adopt the report of the Joint Committee of the Budget, Finance, and the Legal Affairs Committee of this House on Bill number 14 of 2026, Pensions Amendment. Those of that opinion say aye. Those of contrary opinion say no. The ayes have it, and the report has been adopted. We proceed with debate on the bill. I recognize the honourable member for Mwanza West. Mwanza West, you have the floor.
Thank you so much, First Deputy Speaker, for granting an opportunity to the people of Mwanza West constituency to make a contribution to the important discussion that's on the floor. At the utmost, I wish to commend the government for bringing this bill before this honorable house. The proposed provisions on the administration of unclaimed pension funds are important and will strengthen accountability and transparency in the management of the pension assets. However, First Deputy Speaker, I respectfully submit that the bill presents an opportunity to address another issue that is of great concern to thousands of civil servants and other employees covered by the contributory pension scheme, and I'm sure you've already heard about it. Since the introduction of the contributory pension scheme, many retirees have expressed concern that the pension benefits they receive are considerably lower than those that were payable under the non-contributory pension scheme, despite having served the nation faithfully for many years. Some retirees have indicated that the benefits they receive are insufficient to meet their basic needs and maintain a decent standard of life after retirement. First Deputy Speaker, the purpose of any pension system is to provide income security and dignity in old age. If pension benefits are inadequate, then the objective is not fully achieved. I therefore propose that this bill be amended to include a provision requiring the periodic review of benefits payable under the contributory pension scheme. Such reviews should ensure that pension benefits remain fair, adequate, sustainable, and responsive to changes in the cost of living and the economic environment. In undertaking these reviews, government should consider factors such as years of pensionable service, employee and employer contribution, inflation, life expectancy, salary growth, and prevailing economic conditions. This will ensure that the pension system remains both financially sustainable and socially just. First Deputy Speaker, this proposal is not intended to undermine the contributory pension scheme. Rather, it speaks to strengthen it by restoring confidence among workers and ensuring that those who dedicate their lives to public service retire with dignity and adequate financial security. I therefore respectfully urge this Honourable House to consider expanding the scope of this bill to include provisions for the periodic review and enhancement of contributory pension benefits. With these few remarks, First Deputy Speaker, I, including the entire members of Mwanza West constituency, support this bill subject to the proposed amendment. Thank you so much, First Deputy Speaker.
Thank you very much, Honourable Member. Leader.
First Deputy Speaker, I beg to move that debate on the bill be curtailed in order for the minister to wind up. I beg to move.
Thank you very much, Leader. Honourable members, we have a motion on the floor. The motion is requesting us to curtail debate on the bill for the Honourable Minister to wind up. Those of that opinion say aye. Those of the contrary opinion say no. The ayes have it, the motion is carried. Honourable Minister to wind up.
Thank you, Mr. First Speaker. I would like to thank the spokesperson for my Congress Party for supporting this amendment, and also the chairperson, the co-chairperson of Budget and Finance and Legal Affairs Committee, together with the seconder and also the honorable member from Rumpi Central and Mwanza West for supporting the amendment. Mr. Federal Speaker, I think there were some comments also made by the spokesperson for my Congress Party where he did mention that there's need for creation of a sovereign wealth fund. I would like to say that the idea of having a sovereign wealth fund is very important, and it's something that has also been discussed in this August House. But perhaps it's the timing, when should it be done? As you have rightly said, because a sovereign fund, wealth fund, is like having a savings to keep money somewhere so that you can use it for the future. But we are in a situation now where we cannot even afford to provide some services at the moment because we don't have resources. And because of our debt is quite high at the moment. We are not able to meet. That's why maybe we have challenges in our councils, in the hospitals and all that because we don't have money. It is only after, as we have rightly said, when our budget or our resource envelope will be able to meet and then be able to keep something else. I want to agree with you. Otherwise, at the moment, it's almost difficult to do so. The chair also, I think, mentioned about issues of accountability, issues of tracing, the tracing that it should be rigorous to ensure that the beneficiaries should be identified, or indeed look for the other beneficiaries, including the what you call it, the next of kin, and also that we need to have proper regulations to ensure that this amendment is properly implemented. The same was emphasized by the seconder. The need, I think he mentioned about the timely, simple, and clear administration of these unclaimed funds. And also there was a mention that this amendment should not extinguish the ownership of the funds. Should indeed, after the funds have gone to the MG account number 1 and the owner is found, the money have to revert back to the owner of the funds. There was also mentioned that there must be clear responsibilities in the administration of these funds by each and every stakeholder, and I assume that that will be covered in the bill. Rumpi Central, you talk about that first, before we declare the funds unclaimed, we need to check on the next of kin. And if we can't find that, then the funds can go to the consolidated account. And we have also said once the funds are in the consolidated account, we should make sure that the money should save the interest of Malawians. So I entirely agree with you. You also mentioned that for those people that change jobs, the Rolling Stones, they should be able, I think I would suggest that not only the pension fund, but even the one who is changing jobs should be able to go and change his records with the pension fund. And also the pension fund should also be updating the records and also calling the pensioners to trace and to change their records so that they shouldn't have problems at the end of the day. For Mwanza West, I think you have mentioned about the contributory pension fund, and that this bill should be, what I'm presenting today should be changed, or should change the Pension Act. This is the Pension Act. I think maybe we need to we understand that what we are addressing today is unclaimed funds. But if indeed there's a need to look at the pension fund again, that should be handled separately, because the purpose of the amendment here is to do with unclaimed funds. But should there be need to review the pension fund, I would suggest there's a process that is followed for that to be done. And secondly, I want also for you, maybe members, to separate between a contributory fund and pay as you go. The pension fund, we transfer the contribution of the employer, the contribution of the employer and the employee will transfer that money to the pension fund, and it is managed by the pension fund. In terms of how much can be paid to the pensioner is determined by the pension. The same way, when you take your money to Old Mutual, it is Old Mutual that determines how much you are paid. But for pay as you go, this is where people are paid as they retire. This is now government. And that's what you are referring to, which can be, it will be now the role of government to look at the periodic reviews that we are talking about. And as I speak today, they are being reviewed, including this year. The pension funds have also received an increment in tandem with what has been received by the employees in government. So that has been taken care of. So I want through you, Mr. Chair, is to separate pay as you go, where people are paid as they retire, and contributory. The two are separate. The other one is managed separately by an independent institution, the pension fund. Thank you very much for that. I hope that addresses the issue. Should you need more information about this matter, please feel free. We are ready to provide that information. We have the technical people at the back that can provide more information. But I'm aware of the issue of contributory. I want us to mention this. Before, it was purely pay as you go. But people decided, I remember when we were reviewing the Pension Act, there was also an age by the government employees that they won't contribute. And the formula was agreed at that time. You get it? It was agreed that it's not like something that was done. But should there be need for that one to revert, then I think something that can be discussed. So it's what has been provided for in the Pension Act, which is being applied now. Thank you very much for that. With those recommendations, comments made, Mr. First Deputy Speaker, where everybody else is opposed to this bill or this amendment, I beg to move that the bill now be read for a second time. I beg to move.
Thank you very much, Honour Minister. Honour Members, we have a motion on the floor. The motion is to request this House that Bill number 14 of 2026, Pensions Amendment, be read second time. Those of that opinion say aye. Those of contrary opinion say no. The ayes have it, the motion is carried.
Bills Committee stage, Bill number 14 of 2026, Pension Amendment.
Members, can I notice the chairpersons that are in the House? Government Assurance Chairperson, I see you closer to me. Would you please come and lead the committee stage of this bill? Honour Members, the House is in committee.
Honourable members, welcome to the committee stage. This is Bill number 14 of 2026. I wish to inform you that so far the Chair has not received any notices of proposed amendments on this bill. If no one wishes to speak, I now put the question, and the question is that clauses 1 to 4 stand part of the bill. Those of that opinion say aye. And those of the contrary opinion say no. The ayes have it, and the motion is carried. Oh, you didn't hear it? Honorable members, this marks the end of the committee stage of Bill number 14 of 2026. I thank you very much for your contributions. Thank you.
Report stage, Bill number 14 of 2026, Pension Amendment.
Honourable Minister, to report.
Thank you, Mr. First Deputy Speaker. I beg to report that Bill number 14 of 2026, pension amendment, went through committee stage without amendments, and therefore, Mr. First Deputy Speaker, allow me to beg to move that this bill be read for a third time.
Thank you. Honourable members, we have a motion on the floor. The motion is that Bill number 14 of 2026, Pensions Amendment, be read a third time. Those of that opinion say aye. Those of the contrary opinion say no. The ayes have it, the motion is carried.
Third reading, Bill number 14 of 2026, Pension Amendment.
Honourable Minister, for the third reading, motion.
Mr. Third Deputy Speaker, I beg to move that Bill number 14 of 2026, pension amendment, be read for a third time and passed. I beg to move.
Honourable members, there is a motion on the floor. The motion is that Bill number 14 of 2026, Pensions Amendment, be read a third time and passed. Those of that opinion say aye. Those of the contrary opinion say no. The ayes have it, and the motion is carried, and the bill has passed. Honourable members, before we go to the next business, the next bill, I have some announcements to make. The first announcement comes from Honourable Hastings Kajomba, the Member of Parliament for Cholo Konjeni Mangunda constituency. He writes the office of the Speaker to inform the Right Honourable Speaker that Honourable Member has brought in visitors from the United States of America, and they are in the gallery. Their names are Dawn Marie, and we have Elders Donna and Ivy Charles. They are all from the United States. Can I request our visitors to rise so members of Parliament can welcome you to the House? Welcome to Parliament. Welcome to Parliament. Can I request Honourable, oh, you're already on the floor. Honourable Kajomba, please wave at your visitors. Thank you very much. Welcome to Parliament, and enjoy your stay in Malawi. Thank you for coming to Malawi, and please. The next announcement comes from the chairperson, Honorable Peter Gamula, who is the chairperson of the Christian Fraternity. It says, the Parliamentary Christian Fraternity is inviting all Christians to a prayer breakfast, which is taking place tomorrow morning. Venue, Capital Hotel, time 6:45 a.m. to 8:30 a.m. Date, tomorrow Thursday, 6th August 2026. Kindly confirm your attendance by registering with Honorable Rita Sanga. Honorable members, Christians, That's the invitation. The next announcement comes from the Honorable Member for Rumpi East. The Honorable Member for Rumpi East has brought us guests and visitors for this house, and these are a delegation of 11 traditional leaders led by Senior Chief Mankunikira. I hope I didn't kill that name. I hope I made the pronunciation. Honorable Honorable Minister of Justice, what's the name? The name of the, just for clarification, the name of the senior chief?
Right Honorable Second Deputy Speaker, sir. First Deputy Speaker, sir. I rise on a point of order that the guests are not for the Member of Parliament for Rumpi East. They are the guests of the Minister of Justice. And the correct name, and the correct name for the senior chief, the Right Honorable First Deputy Speaker, sir, the correct name of the senior chief is Senior Chief Mankunikira. Mankunikira. Thank you. Thank you.
Order to my left, order to my left. Honor members, the Senior Chief Mankunikira and the traditional leaders, 11 of them are guests of the Honorable Minister of Justice and Constitutional Affairs. May I request the traditional leaders, led by the Senior Chief, to rise so Parliament can appreciate you. Honorable Minister of Justice, you can rise and wave at your leaders. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, honor members. The visitors are in safe hands. I didn't want to announce who is going to support them. They are well supported. They are well supported. So I don't want to ask all members of parliament from Rumpi to contribute, not this time. They are safe and well taken care of. Honor members, that's the announcements that I had. Thank you.
First reading, Bill number 15 of 2026, Insurance Amendment.
Thank you very much, honorable members. The next bill is Bill number 15, Insurance Amendment. Honourable Minister, the bill has not satisfied the 28-day notice. It has satisfied the 7-day rule, and the Speaker's office has given a nod to this. Can you please move a waiver on the same?
Mr. Federal Speaker, I beg to move that all the relevant standing orders be waived to allow me to present Bill number 15 of 2026, Insurance Amendment. As we have rightly said, Mr. First Deputy Speaker, that this bill has satisfied the minimum 7 days, but has not satisfied the 28 days requirement. I therefore beg to move that all the relevant standing orders be waived to allow me to present this bill, because this bill is very, very important, because this bill tries to amend and to ensure that unclaimed money in the insurance sector is administered under the same uniform standard as we have as elsewhere in the financial sector. And this bill also modernizes how premiums are collected and remitted using modern payment instruments. Mr. Deputy Speaker, I beg to move.
Thank you very much, Honourable Minister. Honourable members, we have a motion on the floor. The motion is to waive all standing orders to allow the Honourable Minister of Finance present Bill number 15 of 2026, Insurance Amendment. Those of that opinion say aye. Those of the contrary opinion say no. The ayes have it and the motion is carried.
Second reading, Bill number 15 of 2026, Insurance Amendment.
Minister, second reading when?
Mr. Deputy Speaker, today and now.
Thank you. Honourable members, we have a motion on the floor. The motion is that the second reading of Bill number 15 of 2026, Insurance Amendment, be taken today and now. Those of that opinion say aye. Those of the contrary opinion say no. The ayes have it and the motion is carried. Honourable Minister, for the second reading speech. Order to my right. Order to my right. There's a lot of background noise to my right, honourable members. The Honourable Minister is on the floor.
Mr. First Deputy Speaker, I beg to move that Insurance Amendment Bill 2026 read for a second time. Mr. First Deputy Speaker, the bill amends the Insurance Act 2025 and serves two distinct but complementary purposes. The first purpose is to align the treatment of unclaimed money held by insurers and unclaimed funds arising from the winding up of an insurance entity with the Public Financial Management Act 2022 and as part of a wider package of amendments on the administration of unclaimed monies. This second purpose is to remove reference to checks as a means of paying insurance premiums. In line with the payment system reform, this August has been considering or is going to consider a Bill of Exchange, Amendment Bill 2026, and its related bills to phase out insurance and usage of checks in Malawi. Mr. First Deputy Speaker, I don't know how it will be handled. There's a bill that I'm going to present on bills of exchange, which I think also be related to the bill that I'm presenting here. So this bill has two purposes, as I've said, is to align the treatment of unclaimed money, and the second purpose is to remove reference to checks as a means of paying insurance premiums. In terms of rationale, Mr. First Deputy Speaker, government's assessment of unclaimed monies held across financial sector found that the Insurance Act 2025 does not fully align with the Public Financial Management Act in how such funds are handled. Left unresolved, this kind of inconsistency will create legal uncertainty for insurers as to which legal regime to follow in administering funds that policy holders or beneficiaries have not claimed. And this bill closes that gap for the insurance sector, specifically ensuring unclaimed money is handled consistently in line with the Public Finance Management Act 2022. Regarding premiums by check, regarding payments of premiums by check, Mr. First Deputy Speaker, this House is going to consider a government reform to phase out checks as a mode of payment in Malawi. recognizing their declining usage, their vulnerability to fraud, and the operational costs of sustaining check infrastructure, given its shrinking share of transaction, it is therefore follows that the legal provisions that permit the payment of insurance premiums by check needs to be amended. In terms of content of the bill, Mr. First Deputy Speaker, the bill contains 4 sections. Section 2 replaces Section 20 of the Principal Act, requiring an insurer to administer any unclaimed money it holds in accordance with the Public Financial Management Act of 2022, and adopting the definition of unclaimed money as assigned under the Public Financial Management Act. Section 3 replaces Section 54 of the Principal Act by basically recognizing the numbering of the subsection of the subsection 54(1) of the Principal Act has been deleted. To avoid confusion, this is why Section 3 reads as an entirely new section, but it is a mere reorganization of the subsection numbers. Section 4, it amends Section 89 of the Principal Act by providing that any funds of an insurer under compulsory winding up that remain unclaimed after final distribution to be administered in accordance with the Public Finance Management Act 2022. Mr. First Deputy Speaker, this bill brings 2 important reforms together in a single coherent amendment that ensures that unclaimed money in the insurance sector is administered under the same uniform standard as elsewhere in the financial sector, and also it modernizes how premiums are collected and remitted using modern payment instruments. Mr. First Deputy Speaker, I therefore urge the August House, or the members of this August House, to support this bill. Mr. First Deputy Speaker, I beg to move.
Thank you very much, Honourable Minister. Before I recognize the spokesperson, there is a point of order, or there's a point of 2 points of orders. The first one is from the chairperson of the legal committee. Honourable member for Lilongwe Likuni. Honourable member for Lilongwe Likuni, please slow down on what you are eating. Slow down on what you are eating. The chair seated here has the precedence on who to pick first. You cannot advise me to start with you, please. Chairperson for the committee.
Thank you, Right Honorable Deputy Speaker. I just wanted to seek your indulgence to see if we are proceeding procedurally, because in terms of sequencing, my view was that perhaps we would have started with the bills of exchange, which now changes the law on checks before we deal with insurance. So perhaps the proposal would be that we defer it, deal with the bills of exchange, then refer back to insurance and finish the process that is remaining. That's what I wanted to seek your indulgence on, Right Honorable Deputy Speaker.
Okay. Chair, I would like to agree with your point of order, and I rule in favor of your point of order. So, Leader, what we can do, we can suspend the process of this bill in a motion and return back to it after we pass the bill number 16. Leader, you have the floor.
Mr. First Deputy Speaker, I beg to move that the House to defer Bill number 15 in order for us to tackle Bill number 16 and revert back to it after the passage of Bill number 16. I beg to move.
Thank you very much, Leader. Honourable members, we have a motion on the floor. The motion is to defer Bill number 15 to be returned to after we deal with Bill number 16 of 2026, Bills of Exchange. Those of that opinion say aye. Those of contrary opinion say no. The ayes have it and the motion is carried. There's a point of order from the honourable member for Lilongwe Likuni. What has gone out of order?
Thank you, Honourable First Deputy Speaker. There is politics of constituency and there is politics of national and there is politics of political parties specifically. What we are here for, we are not here to clap hands for anything, but we are here to serve the nation.
What has gone out of order?
What has gone out of order is, Honourable Second Deputy Speaker, campaign is very difficult. And we are not here by appointment, we are here by vote. People who have voted for you asked to be here. There is a member from Rumpi East who have voted, the people agreed with her, she was voted. Then somebody who was appointed is here and being recognized. This parliament should be fashionable. We need to change the politics of Malawi. I so submit.
Honourable member, for the subject matter you're bringing on the floor, I rule you completely out of order. One, for bringing that substance. The second issue, for trying to be so loud in addressing the chair. You know, point of orders are addressed to the chair. And when the chair is so calm the way I am, I remember those days I was never calm. I was seated somewhere. I was never calm. So, honourable member, when you are raising an issue for your constituents and of public interest, please remember to cool down. So I rule you out of order. Table.
Bill number 16 of 2026, first reading, Bills of Exchange Amendment.
Honourable Minister, the bill, after satisfying the 7-day rule, did not satisfy the 20-day notice. Can you please request you for a waiver? Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. First Deputy Speaker. Maybe before I do that, allow me to agree with you and as well as I need protection.
Order to my left.
There's too much background.
Order to my left.
I just wanted to thank the chair or the co-chair for bringing the issue for consistency. I think there was sequencing of the bill. I also noted as I was reading, doing the second reading, otherwise we would have approved it in anticipation. So I want to agree with the chair for Mr. Federal Speaker for your ruling on that. Now, Mr. First Deputy Speaker, I beg to move that bill number. No, I beg to move that all the relevant.
Order to my right. Order to my right. Honourable members, if you are one or two members that would like to confer on a subject, please, we have a beautiful members' lounge that the Right Honourable Speaker has provided for us members. Let's use that corner to discuss private business. Honourable Minister, you have the floor, sir.
Mr. Federal Speaker, I beg to move that all the relevant standing order. Mr. Federal Speaker, I beg to move that all the relevant standing orders be waived to allow me to present Bill number 16 of 2026, Bills of Exchange Amendment. This bill has met the 7 days minimum number of days, but has not met the 28 days. So I therefore would like to ask the Honorable House to allow me to present this bill, because this bill is very important, because it is saving Malawians and ensuring that we modernize our payment system and bring confidence to the entire financial system. I therefore beg to move, Mr. First Deputy Speaker.
Thank you very much. Honourable members, we have a motion on the floor. The motion is to waive the 28-day notice to allow the Honourable Minister of Finance to move Bill number 16 of 2026, Bills of Exchange Amendment. Those of that opinion say aye. Those of the contrary opinion say no. The ayes have it, the motion is carried. Honourable Minister, second reading when?
Mr. First Deputy Speaker, today and now.
Honourable members, we have a motion on the floor. The motion is for the second reading of Bill number 16 of 2026, Bills of Exchange Amendment, to be taken today and now. Those of that opinion say aye. Those of the contrary opinion say no. The ayes have it, and the motion is carried.
Second reading, Bill number 16 of 2026, Bills of Exchange Amendment.
Honourable Minister, for the second reading speech.
Mr. First Deputy Speaker, I beg to move that the Bills of Exchange Amendment Bill 2026 be read for a second time. Mr. First Deputy Speaker, I want to kindly request the August House to listen, because this is a different bill altogether, and is going to change how we're going to do business and make our payments. I would kindly request the organ, because it's very, very important for the August House, because we are the representative of the people and we are the one to communicate to our people in the rural areas. Mr. First Speaker, this bill seeks to amend the Bills of Exchange Act, Chapter 48, Section 2 of the Laws of Malawi, in order to discontinue the usage of checks as a bill of exchange in Malawi. It is the lead bill in a wider package of financial sector laws reforms that my ministry, together with the Reserve Bank of Malawi and the Ministry of Justice and Constitutional Affairs, has brought before this August House, and will also soon present the attendant bills separately for this House consideration. Rationale for this bill. There are four reasons, principal reasons, for proposing this amendment. First, the use of checks in Malawi has steadily declined over the years due to, among other factors, the increased demand for online and digital mode of payments. Checks now account for barely 2% of the total value, or 0.04% of the volume of retail payments in Malawi. So it is negligible. People are no longer using checks for payments. Looking at the volume and the number of checks that are being issued. Yet our system continues to bear the full weight or full cost of check infrastructure, clearing platforms, scanners, software, checkbook stocks. Retiring checks will therefore free up bank resources and conserve the scarce foreign exchange currently spent on importing and maintaining this infrastructure. Second, checks are a well-known factor for fraud, forgery, and counterfeiting, and their continued use exposes both institutions and ordinary Malawians to avoidable loss. This is not merely a technical concern, it is a payment system perceived as porous, and it undermines public trust. And public trust is the foundation of which a sound financial sector or system, and by extension a growing economy, is built. By the closing off this vulnerability or exposure, the bill reinforces government's broader agenda of strengthening financial integrity and combating financial crime. Third reason, this reform is fully aligned with Malawi's digital transformation agenda. Our financial sector has overwhelmingly embraced digital financial services, which have given rise to various innovations such as digital payments options like mobile money services. These services have proven to be faster, more convenient, and easier to use, therefore making checks increasingly unappealing to customers. It is expected that phasing out checks will accelerate the adoption of these digital services, thereby enhancing financial inclusion, particularly among our rural-based population. I'm saying this because in rural areas, most of the people have no checks. If now they are paying, they're using mobile. Actually, most of the volumes that we are seeing from the banking system are through the Reserve Bank of Malawi. Payments mostly in rural areas as I speak today, they are mostly using mobile money. The fourth reason, and the final one, Mr. First Deputy Speaker, checkbooks and the equipment used to produce and process them generate paper waste and a hazardous material at the end of it. A shift from checks is therefore also a shift towards a green environmental footprint for our payment system, which is consistent with the direction that the rest of the world is taking. I would like to inform this August House that most of the countries around us, our neighbors, have already phased out checks. And we have already done that benchmark. In summary, Mr. First Deputy Speaker, this bill is not simply about phasing out an old instrument. It positions Malawi's payment architecture for the future, one that is cheaper to run, harder to defraud, it is more inclusive, and it is a bit gentler in terms of environment, or it is environment friendly. The content of the bill. Mr. First Deputy Speaker, the bill contains 6 sections. Specifically, 1, it amends the long title of the Principal Act by deleting reference to checks. 2, it repeals Part 2 or Part 3.
Honourable Member for Salima North, order.
Mr. Federal Speaker, I was saying that the bill contains 6 sections, and these are: 1, it is amending the long title of the Principal Act by deleting the reference to the checks, and 2, it repeals Part 3 of the Principal Act, which provided the general regulatory framework for checks, And 3, it repeals Section 101 of the Principal Act, which provided for cross-checks application to a warrant for payment of dividends. 4, it amends Section 102 of the Principal Act by deleting the words bills of exchange, promissory notes, and checks, and substituting it with bills of exchange and promissory notes. And lastly, Section 6 provides for transition arrangements to ensure that there is an orderly transition for businesses and for individuals. We want to make sure that there's a smooth transition from the checks to digital. On this last point, Mr. Fed Deputy Speaker, I wish to assure honorable members and the general public that no person, and I repeat, no person, will be permitted to issue a check from the date this act comes into force. However, bankers will be permitted to continue accepting checks already issued before the commencement of this act for a period of up to 6 months. My ministry will also ensure guidelines or circulars or regulations on the handling of any such existing checks to ensure an orderly transition for businesses and individuals still holding or using checks at the time this act takes effect. During the transition period, government through the Reserve Bank of Malawi and other relevant agencies will conduct civic education to sensitize the general public about the phasing of checks in the country. Mr. First Deputy Speaker, now let me turn to impact of this amendment. This bill is expected to modernize Malawi's payment landscape by facilitating the transition from check-based payments to faster, safer, and more efficient digital payment methods. It also improves the speed, the security, transparency, and the reliability of payment transactions, reduce operational costs and foreign exchange expenditure associated with check infrastructure, and it also helps to eliminate the risk of check fraud, forgery, and counterfeiting, thereby enhancing the integrity of and the public confidence in our financial system. It will further support government's digital transformation and financial inclusion agenda and contribute to environmental sustainability by reducing paper consumption and waste. In conclusion, Mr. First Deputy Speaker, checks have saved Malawians for so many decades, but their time has passed. This bill closes that chapter in an orderly and methodical manner while opening the door for a faster, softer, safer, inclusive, and more environmentally sustainable and friendly payments for the future of our country. Mr. First Deputy Speaker, I therefore urge the August House to support this very important bill. Mr. First Deputy Speaker, I beg to move.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Honourable Minister. Honourable members, we now proceed to recognize Honourable Member for Pilanjuzi to speak on behalf of the opposition.
Thank you so much, Mr. First Deputy Speaker. This bill is quite different from the other bills that have been discussing in this House and that we have passed. And therefore, you allow me to use probably 7 minutes of the 20 minutes that you have allocated to me to discuss this bill, because today will be remembered in history as a day when this House passed a bill to stop the usage of checks as a means of exchange in this country. In fact, if we could ask ourselves here, how many of us for the past 2, 3, 4, 5 years have had checks? I, for one, have not had it for the past 5 years. I no longer see a reason why I should have a checkbook because of various digital platforms that we have when it comes to banking. And therefore, this bill, Mr. First Deputy Speaker, has come at the right time. Of course, we have delayed a bit because, as the Honorable Minister said, most of our friends, sister nations in the region, already retired the check. Nonetheless, they say better late than never. And therefore, want to sincerely congratulate you, our Honorable Minister of Finance, for bringing this very important bill. As the Honorable Minister of Finance said, the use of checks has declined significantly over the years, not just here in Malawi, but regionally and even globally. And not really to despise the checks as a means of payment. Honestly, the checks have served us well over the decades. I know when people are divorcing, some tend to despise or castigate, their partners. But as we divorce the use of checks today, it's also, I think, important to remember how the checks have served us as a nation and even globally. But I think we can no longer continue to have these checks as a means of exchange, particularly considering the fact that we now have various digital platforms through which we can transact in our banks very conveniently. And I dare mention, First Deputy Speaker, that as we phase out the checks, the usage of checks, some of us are very excited, glad, because amongst us are some crooks who have been forging checks, presenting counterfeit checks. When I say amongst us, I don't mean this house. I'm talking of the nation, not here. No, here we are all honorable members. But as the Honorable Minister said, checks have been vulnerable to forgery. They have been vulnerable to, production of counterfeit checks. And we have had people, First Deputy Speaker, who have been fond of issuing post-dated checks. Some people owing you, and they'll just say, no, don't worry, here's a check, and they put a date ahead, and when you go to the bank, there's no money in the bank.
Actually, it's a closed account.
Yes, we have had such cases. So today, as we pass this bill, those people, those crooks, their tricks are ending today. First Deputy Speaker. First Deputy Speaker, some of us have had an opportunity or a privilege of working in the banking sector, just like the Honorable Minister of Finance. I know of Chiradzulu Nguludi. We also have Lilongwe Mpenu here, our Secretary General. Well, but some of us that have had this privilege of working in the bank will tell you that clearance of checks is probably one of the most boring, most clerical, most repetitive tasks that happen behind those beautiful bank counters. In the past, every day commercial banks had to carry the physical checks to Reserve Bank for clearance and interbank settlement. Over the years, with technology, what they've been doing is to do imaging of the checks, truncating of the checks, sending to Reserve Bank over digital platforms, and have those interbank clearances and settlements. It really has been very, very clerical. And when you compare with the usage of digital platforms, honestly, checks just have to be retired in this day and age. But as we retire the checks today, Mr. First Deputy Speaker, I want us to consider a number of things. Number one is, of course, we are all aware that as a country, as government, we are pursuing a digitalization agenda. But as we speak now, not all the areas in our country have proper connectivity. You go to Pilanjus, 30 kilometers from here, you have difficulties to find proper network, particularly for Airtel. And I know across the country we have a lot of areas that have poor connectivity. So as we migrate, as we transition to full use of digital platforms, of course, apart from going over the counter to transact in the bank, I think it's important that we need to improve our digital infrastructure. That is very, very important. That is going to make sure that as we transition from checks, we have more convenient and better platforms for transacting in the banks. Number two, Mr. First Deputy Speaker, is the issue of transition. I'm glad that the Honorable Minister of Finance did mention that when this amendment bill gets operationalized, there will still be 6 months within which the banks will be able to receive the checks. Of course, checks take 6 months before they become stale. That's okay, but the point is we need to do more sensitization of our people so that they are aware we are leaving the checks as a mode of payment. That is very important because we still have some people thinking we are still using the checks after it has been phased out. So it's very important that government has to do proper sensitization of this bill. A story is told, Mr. First Deputy Speaker, of some soldiers who long after the end of the Second World War were still in the jungle because they thought the battle was still being fought. So it's important that there is proper sensitization, Mr. First Deputy Speaker. Otherwise, this is a very exciting moment, and as Malawi Congress Party, we fully support this transition and support the bill 100%. Thank you, First Deputy Speaker, sir.
Thank you. Today I'm only recognizing one spokesperson because we want to do it a hybrid way. I will recognize the chairperson. So the chair to present your report. Thank you.
Right Honorable Deputy Speaker, thank you very much for according me the honor to present the report of the Joint Parliamentary Committee on Legal Affairs and the budget on Bill number 16 of 2026, Bills of Exchange Amendment. Right Honorable Deputy Speaker, in accordance with our own standing orders, Standing Order number 154, the Legal Affairs Committee and the Budget Committee considered this bill together because it raises both legal and financial policy matters. During its consideration of the bill, the Joint Committee received submissions from the Honorable Minister of Finance, Economic Planning and Decentralization, and officials from the Ministry, as well as technical input from the Reserve Bank of Malawi. These engagements enabled members to scrutinize the proposed legislation and assess its legal, financial, and operational implications. Right Honorable First Deputy Speaker, Bill number 16 of 2026 seeks to amend the Bills of Exchange Act by discontinuing the use of checks as legally recognized bills of exchange in Malawi. The proposed amendment forms part of government's broader agenda to modernize the national payment system and align the country's legal framework with the increasing use of electronic payment platforms. The committee noted that the steady decline in check usage, coupled with the rapid adoption of digital payment methods, has made it unnecessary for the law to keep pace with developments in the financial sector. And in examining the bill, the committee recognized that the migration from paper-based payment instruments to electronic payment systems has the potential to improve efficiency, enhance convenience, and strengthen the integrity of Malawi's payment system. At the same time, members observed that the transition should be implemented carefully to ensure that government institutions, businesses, and members of the public who still rely on check transactions are not disadvantaged during the migration to the electronic payment systems. Right Honorable Deputy Speaker, particular attention was given to the transitional arrangements proposed in the bill, and the Joint Committee was informed that checks issued before the commencement of the amended Act would remain valid for 6 months, after which they would cease to be honored. Whilst members welcomed this arrangement, they emphasized the need to protect pending transactions, contractual obligations, and legal rights arising before the commencement of the new legislation. So members welcomed government's intention to amend related legislation, which will include the Insurance Bill, the Payment Systems Act, the Deposit Insurance Act, and the Financial Crimes Act, all of them on our order paper, Right Honorable Deputy Speaker. One thing which the committee also observed and would want to make as a recommendation is a call on our banking institutions to improve, and let me underline and put it in bold, improve their digital infrastructure. Because, Right Honorable Speaker, we've been migrating to the electronic payment systems, but you still see, even as of today, that some of these electronic payments have problems. We will not mention the specific banks, but I know some members have actually experienced issues where you want to do an electronic funds transfer. Perhaps you miss it by 1 digit, but there are no checks, and the transaction still goes through. And to get it reversed, it takes forever. That's one issue. And it speaks to the digital infrastructure of our banking institutions. There are also circumstances, Right Honorable Deputy Speaker, when on the receiving end, as a supplier, you receive a notification, your account has been credited by 2,000 kwacha, for argument's sake. And you proceed and do the transaction on the basis of that notification that you've received, only to discover that it bounced back into that person's account, and then you are now left with a dummy transaction ID, which is of no consequence. You go to the bank, the money is not there, but you've already transacted. I will not mention banks. But I know that most of our members, and even the public, experience some of these lapses in the digital infrastructure of our bank. So as we transition, I wanted to put it on record, Right Honorable Deputy Speaker, as a recommendation that our banks should really help in making sure that our monies are safe. As an example, if I want to transact, it should ask me, is this money going to, is this account for Honorable Sosten Gwengwe? Then I will proceed with comfort that we are on the same page with the bank. There are other banks, Right Honorable Deputy Speaker, they will ask you for the account number. It doesn't even verify that it's really the right one with corresponding to a right name. And you still proceed, and you realize later that you've sent money to a wrong person. Having carefully scrutinized the bill, the Joint Committee is satisfied that the proposed amendments provide an appropriate legal framework for modernizing our payment system, but the committee has made recommendations aimed at ensuring that the transition is orderly, inclusive, and legally sound. And among other recommendations, members have urged the Ministry of Finance, Economic Planning, and Decentralization to strengthen the transitional arrangements, support local authorities during the migration to electronic payment systems. And this, Right Honorable Speaker, I say with an emphasis because the government has migrated to electronic payment systems, as all of us are witnesses. But most of our councils, at least my council, Lilongwe, are still reliant on checks because they might not have been fully integrated into the IFMIS system. So we are recommending to government to support the local authorities for a quick transition because they are the only government entity that is still over-reliant on issuance of checks to suppliers. And we should ensure timely payment of government suppliers. Right Honorable Speaker, having said all this, I beg to move that this House adopts the report of the Parliamentary Committee on Legal Affairs and the budget on Bill number 16 of 2026, the Bills of Exchange Amendment. I beg to move, Right Honorable Deputy Speaker.
Thank you very much. Honorable Chair, can I therefore recognize Seconder? Can the Seconder rise? I see the Honorable Member for Mzimba Lueres. Mzimba Lueres, you have the floor, sir.
Thank you, First Deputy Speaker. First Deputy Speaker, I rise to second the motion for the adoption of the report of the Parliamentary Committee on Legal Affairs and Budget on Bill number 16 of 2026, Bills of Exchange Amendment. First Deputy Speaker, the chairperson has ably outlined the purpose of the bill and the principal observations made by the Joint Committee. I wish to highlight several important issues that deserve the attention of this House as we consider this important legislative reform. First Deputy Speaker, the Joint Committee devoted considerable attention to the issue of financial inclusion. While electronic payment systems present enormous opportunities for improving efficiency and convenience, members were concerned that many Malawians, particularly those living in rural and undeserved areas, may not have adequate access to banking and digital financial services. The committee, therefore, emphasized that the success of the reforms would depend on ensuring that no citizen is excluded from participating in the country's evolving digital economy because of limited access to financial services or unnecessary administrative barriers. First Deputy Speaker, sir, the committee also recognized that public confidence in electronic payment systems will largely depend on the strength of consumer protection measures. As digital transactions become more prevalent, there is an increased risk of cybercrime, fraud, identity theft, and unauthorized transactions. The Joint Committee, therefore, recommends that the Reserve Bank of Malawi continue strengthening the regulatory framework governing electronic payment systems and establish effective dispute resolution mechanism to ensure that consumers are adequately protected whenever payment disputes arise. First Deputy Speaker, sir, another important issue relates to the availability of electronic payment infrastructure. Members observed that network failures, delayed transfers, and unsuccessful electronic transactions continue to affect many users. Such challenges have the potential to undermine public confidence in digital payment systems. The Joint Committee therefore calls upon the Reserve Bank of Malawi, financial institutions, payment service providers and mobile network operators to work together in strengthening the reliability, resilience, and security of the country's economic payment infrastructure. The Joint Committee further considered the implications of these reforms for cooperatives, community organizations, and other institutions operating accounts that require multiple signatories. Members welcomed the assurance that electronic banking platforms can preserve existing approval arrangements while maintaining appropriate internal controls and accountability. This will enable institutions to transition to electronic payments without compromising sound governance practices. First Deputy Speaker, sir, the affordability of electronic payment services also featured prominently during the committee's deliberations. Members observed that high transaction charges may discourage the public from embracing digital payment systems following the discontinuation of checks. The Joint Committee, therefore, recommends that the financial institutions periodically review transaction charges with a view of making electronic payment services more affordable and accessible to all Malawians. Equally important is the need for comprehensive public sensitization. Members believed that the public must
consider winding up.
Thank you. Members believe that the public must adequately informed about the commencement of the reforms, the treatment of existing checks, the available alternative payment methods, and safeguards put in place to protect consumers. An informed public will facilitate a smooth and orderly transition from check-based transaction to electronic payments. First Deputy Speaker, sir, the recommendations contained in this report are intended to ensure that transition to electronic payment systems is not only efficient, but also secure, inclusive, and beneficial to all citizens. They complement the objectives of the bill and provide practical guidance for its successful implementation. Honorable members of the House, the report before us is a balanced and forward-looking. I, therefore, urge all to support the adoption of the report and the passage of the Bill number 16 of 2026, Bills of Exchange Amendment. With those remarks, Mr. First Deputy Speaker, sir, I beg to second the motion. Thank you.
Thank you. Honourable members, we will curtail this and then allow debate on the bill. Leader?
Mr. First Deputy Speaker, I beg to move that the debate on the report by the chairperson be curtailed in order for the chairperson to wind up. I beg to move.
Thank you very much. Honourable members, I have a question on the floor. The motion is to request curtailment on the report, on the chairperson's report debate, so that the chairpersons wind up. Those of that opinion say aye. Those of the contrary opinion say no. The ayes have it and the motion is carried. Chairperson?
Right, Honorable Deputy Speaker, looking at the mood of the House, the report is wound up. Allow me to beg, therefore, that the report be adopted by the whole House. I beg to move.
Honourable members, we have a motion from the chairperson of the Joint Parliamentary Committee on Budget, Finance and Legal Affairs, requesting us to adopt the report of Bill number 16 of 2026, Bills of Exchange Amendment. Those of that opinion say aye. Those of the contrary opinion say no. The ayes have it, and the motion is carried, and the report has been adopted. Therefore, continue debate on the bill, and I will recognize the whip. Okay. Whip, you have the floor for 5 minutes.
No,
And
I don't need the 5 minutes,
okay.
First Deputy Speaker. Thank you, First Deputy Speaker, for recognizing the people of the Murundo in the constituency this afternoon, at least to greet you and greet the House after missing in action for about 2 weeks. Allow me to say that I thank you for the opportunity that I've had to greet you and greet the House. Good to see you. God bless you.
Good to see you.
I beg to move my greetings.
Good to see you, Honour Member for the Zamlundin. We are very, very proud of your presence in the House. I therefore recognize the Honour Member for Mulanje West and then Mangochi South. So Mulanje West, you have the floor, Madam.
Thank you so much, the Right Honourable First Deputy Speaker. I stand to support the bill. This is a very self-explanatory bill. What I'm looking forward to ask the Minister of Finance, maybe to ask the banks as well as the RBM to make sure that the system are secured. We are afraid of whatever has been happening with the service providers of the phones, whereby people they keep calling, demanding money and whatever. But also we would like to ask Makla Police and the cyber security that they've got to work on the mobile money first, so that people should not be stealing money from other customers. But also, the RBM, if you can make also strict regulations for this bill. And we'll be looking forward also for the internet service providers to improve the network. We've been experiencing problems with the network when you're doing online as well as the digital payment, that the network is so busy, network is not even showing whether you've done it or not. But some of the bill has also started already, the service providers started already implementing when you go in the bank, because it has been giving us problems to issue a check, and it's so irritating that people keep calling you this and they look for national ID, whatever. But with this, the online as well as the digital payment is not going to give us problems. So this is a very big, it's a good bill. What we are looking forward is for the interbanking transfers should also be easily done without even problems. We are calling for also the bankers to put products which can even allow customers know what is happening now, that they can just walk into the bank without even a check, and they can withdraw it. And they've been doing it with their phones, sending messages that you are free to walk in and do this. The bankers, if they're going to send that product in the customers, they won't have even problems. That's more or less like civic educating the mass, that they've got to know that now we are online and digital payment or digital banking without even issuing check. So one way of sustaining the people is the bankers to put products on that. But this is a welcome bill, and we'll salute the Minister of Finance for coming up with this bill, that we should not be given time to respond to phone calls when somebody is issuing a check, or maybe asking for, even if the check is used, you find that they were asking you to produce a national ID, as if they don't know that you are the owner or whatever. So it was giving time for one to issue your own check or withdraw money in the bank. So I think this is a bill which cannot go without passing it, and that's why I'm standing here to support the bill. And on behalf of the Mulanje West voters and Mulanje West customers of different different banks, would like to support this bill in totality. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Mangochi South.
First Deputy Speaker, thanks for allowing the people of Mlanje Southeast to contribute on this important bill.
Honorable member, what has happened? Okay, honorable member, you can proceed. So, for the sake of the people of Mabuka and the other areas, let me mention that you are Mulanje Southeast, not Mangochi South. Thank you very much.
First Deputy Speaker, I was worried that you are not recognizing the people of Mlanje Southeast who have temporarily positioned themselves on the seat of Mlanje South. And Senior Chief Mabuka was very worried that their own son is not recognizing that Ambuya Limomo. First Deputy Speaker, this is an important bill. And I think for a very long time, as ably presented by the Minister, we seem to have been overtaken by other countries that phased out checks a while ago. But First Deputy Speaker, we need to work on our infrastructure, as the chairperson of the Joint Committee has indicated. There are a lot of issues that are affecting the people in the rural areas with regards to e-payments in this country. One of them is the cost of transactions that the e-payments cost. I think, First Deputy Speaker, these need to be reviewed, they need to be looked at. When you look at the transactional costs for mobile money in this country, they are very high. And I think it's high time that we looked at them, because cumulatively, they tend to affect the transactional costs that the people in the rural areas have to bear. The other area, First Deputy Speaker, that has to be looked at in this particular case is that while the banks are looking at the infrastructure and upgrading the infrastructure, most of us have grown up relying on post-dated checks. And in the e-payments, the only way the post-dated checks are accounted for is by using standing orders. And these standing orders usually are very limited in their availability and usage in the e-systems. And that has to be considered as well, First Deputy Speaker. When it comes to the mobile money, there are a lot of issues of suspended transactions where people would send money and the money doesn't get where it's supposed to go, and by the end of the day, to get a reversal, it takes forever. There are so many people that have sent out money using the e-transactions, and this tends to affect the trust that is supposed to be built on the usage of e-transactions. This has to be looked at, and it gets worrying, First Deputy Speaker, because one would be saying that by the end of the day, if the systems are automated, you should have end-of-day transactions that would indicate that there are particular transactions that are still standing out, are suspended. And one wonders what happens to these transactions by the end of the day. Where does the money go? Because there are a lot of people that, as I am speaking now, they get to these mobile money providers claiming about transactions that they have sent but were not delivered in emergencies, for example, and it takes over months. And people just give up. And I don't think that should be the resolution of such transactions. And I hope that the minister, as he's looking at this particular bill, he will also talk to the different providers to ensure that by the end of the day, the clearing happens and the right people to get a refund of the transactions that they had intended to send, and that the confidence that people have in transactions should improve over time if the efficiencies will improve in this particular case. First Deputy Speaker, the people of Mulanje Southeast would beg to submit. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Leader, I see you on the floor.
Yes, I am on the floor, Mr. First Deputy Speaker, to beg to move that the debate on the bill be curtailed in order for the minister to wind up. I beg to move.
Thank you, honour members. We have a motion on the floor. The motion is for the curtailment of debate on Bill number 16 of 2026, Bills of Exchange Amendment, for the honour minister to wind up. Those of that opinion say aye. Those of the contrary opinion say no. The ayes have it and the motion is carried. Honour Minister, to wind up debate.
Thank you, Mr. Federal Speaker. First, allow me to thank the spokesperson for Macron's party for the support on this bill, Bill number 16 of 2026, Bills of Exchange. I also want to thank the Chair for Legal Affairs for the support. Chair, I want to say something that one of the assets, I'm saying one of the assets that the Malawi Congress Party has is the Chair of Budget and Finance. If you have an asset in the Malawi Congress Party, one of them is the Chair of Budget and Finance. He's very experienced, technically knowledgeable, and also we have the Chair of Legal Affairs. Actually, the technical people at the back, they feel more comfortable to deal with these two assets that you have. So
the other one was the chair of what?
Legal Affairs. Pilanjus.
Honorable member for Pilanjus.
Oh, former chair, sorry. Legal chair, I remember now, is my big brother there. Sorry, my apologies, I'm sure.
Yes.
I wanted to mention this because it worries me, Mr. Vice Chair, First Deputy Speaker, to have such a knowledgeable asset to be at the back, at the very end. I can't even see him. I think you need to work something, Mr. through you. I'm going to guarantee you this is your asset. Thank you very much with that. And you have No, thank you very much, Mr. Deputy Speaker. As I've said, I really appreciate the support that I have on this bill, very important bill. And allow me to, I think, to take note of some of the very important comments that have been made. First is to issue about, I think I already alluded to in my second reading, the issue that this proposal, this amendment, it will help us to facilitate and create a safer, efficient, and least costly mode of payment, and also that it reduces fraud, forgery, and counterfeiting. But there was advice from all the spokespersons that we need to improve on digital infrastructure. There's need for us to manage transition and make sure that we sensitize all the relevant stakeholders in this. And this has been echoed by each and every person that has spoken before me. There's also, I think, very important comments that have been made by the seconder from Ms. Mbarueles where he said no citizen should be denied to participate in the country's financial system because of digitalization. He mentioned about consumer protection, mentioned that all the people or stakeholders that use the digital platform should be protected. He talked about cybercrime, that we need, I think the central bank and the banks make sure that the regulatory framework and the infrastructure should make sure that it reduces or completely takes out cybercrime, and that the Reserve Bank should strengthen regulatory framework, and that there must be proper dispute resolution mechanism. The other point that has been raised by Mulanje West, I think he has indeed emphasized the point that the infrastructure should be secure, and that we need, this is Mulanje West, we also need to advise MACRA as a regulator, and also security institutions, the police, to ensure that the payment system is safer. And that the Reserve Bank has to come up with very strong regulations to ensure that payments are safe and that people don't lose money. And also that the mobile service providers, they should improve on their network because people are having difficulties and at times to make payments. You also mentioned that the banks have to come up with modern products that is in tandem with the new digital era or agenda that government has instituted. And lastly, I think we also had comments from Mulanje Southwest, where he also talked about the need to improve infrastructure, and also that we need to look at the costs, both the banks and all the stakeholders, make sure that we, as much as possible, we should make the e-payments less costly. And he has also advised that now that we don't have post-dated checks, the banks have a facility, what we call standing orders, which I agree is actually is another a post-dated check, where you just instruct the bank at some future date to transfer your money or pay on your behalf when you have the money in the account. Last one, another important issue which I am sure we need to work on immediately is the reversals that take time. Actually, is it 72 hours? Is it 72 hours? 72 hours. I think that has to be minimized. So the question is, where does that money sit? Does it get interest on that? So I entirely agree with you, Mulanje Southwest, for that very good recommendation, I think, which will take into account. With these comments and with the support that we have received from the August House on both sides of the aisle, Mr. First Deputy Speaker, I beg to move that Bill number 16 of 2026, Bills of Exchange, be read for a third time. I beg to move. Second time. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, honorable members. We have a motion coming from the Minister of Finance that Bill number 16 of 2026, Bills of Exchange Amendment, be read a second time. Those of that opinion, say aye. Those of the contrary opinion say no. The ayes have it, the motion is carried.
Committee stage, Bill number 16 of 2026, Bills of Exchange Amendment.
Thank you very much. Honourable members, we are now at committee of the whole House. I now request the chairperson of the Public Accounts Committee to chair the committee stage. Chairperson.
Honourable members, welcome to committee stage of bill number 16, bills of exchange, bill number 16 of 2026, bills of exchange amendment. I wish to inform you that so far the chair has not received any notice of proposed amendments of this bill. If no one wishes to speak, I now put a question. The question is that clauses 1 to 6 to stand part of the bill. Those of the opinion say aye. Those of the contrary opinion say no. The ayes have it, therefore the motion is carried. Honourable members, this marks the end of the committee stage of the bill number 16 of 2026, bills of exchange amendment of 2026. Thank you for your active participation.
Report stage, bill number 16 of 2026, bills of exchange amendment.
Thank you. Honourable Minister of Finance to report.
Thank you, Mr. Effective Speaker. Bill number 16 of 2026, bills of exchange amendment, passed through a committee stage with no amendments. And I therefore beg to move that bill number 16 of 2026, bills of exchange amendment, be read for a third time.
Thank you very much, Honourable Minister. Honourable members, we have a motion on the floor. The motion is that the third reading of bill number 16 of 2026, bills of exchange amendment, be taken today. Those of that opinion say aye. Those of the contrary opinion say no. The ayes have it, and the motion is carried.
Third reading, bill number 16 of 2026, bills of exchange amendment.
Honourable Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Deputy Speaker. I beg to move that bill number 16 of 2026, bills of exchange amendment, be read for a third time and passed.
Thank you. Honourable members, we have a motion on the floor. The motion is, I now put the question that the bill number 16 of 2026, bills of exchange amendment, be read a third time and passed. Those of that opinion say aye. Those of the contrary opinion say no. The ayes have it, and the motion is carried, and the bill has passed. Leader.
First Deputy Speaker, you will recall that we had deferred bill number 15 in order for us to tackle bill number 16. I would like now to move that we revert back to bill number 15 for its further processing. Just okay. I would like to guide that now we go back to bill number 15 for further processing. I submit, First Deputy Speaker.
Second reading, bill number 15 of 2026, insurance amendment.
Thank you very much. Honourable members, as you are aware, We are now in second reading of Bill number 15, Insurance Amendment. I now recognize the spokesperson for the Malawi Congress Party, Honorable Member for Pirilanjos, Lilongwe Pirilanjos. Honorable Member, you have the floor.
Thank you so much, Honorable Deputy Speaker, for granting me the floor to respond to Bill number 15 of 2026, Insurance Amendment Bill. This bill, Mr. First Deputy Speaker, is a bill that is touching, it's a constitutional amendment bill touching on the discontinuance of checks, which we have just done in the Bills of Exchange Amendment Bill. It is also touching on what I've been dealing with since yesterday on treatment of unclaimed funds. So it's a bill basically that is trying to align with what we've already done with other bills in the financial sector. Therefore, on behalf of Malawi Congress Party, I want to say from the outset that we fully support this bill. Just like the insurance, the pensions bill, which we passed earlier. This bill is actually quite congruent to that because it's also envisaging two scenarios under which unclaimed funds, unclaimed monies could arise. Number one is when the insurance company is undergoing liquidation. So the unclaimed funds at the end of repayment to creditors and others who would claim those funds, those remaining funds are supposed to be credited to the consolidation fund. It's also envisaging a scenario whereby policyholders, Mr. First Deputy Speaker, who could not be traced, those funds that they were supposed to benefit from are also supposed to be credited to account number one. So it's a very familiar bill, basically harmonizing what we have already done, harmonizing with the provisions in the Public Finance Management Act. We therefore, without further ado, First Deputy Speaker, fully support this amendment bill, Insurance Amendment Bill of 2026. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I recognize the chairperson of the Joint Parliamentary Committee to table their report. Okay, we will proceed with debate to the bill. The bill is now open for general debate. And then when the chair is available, he's going to bring in his contributions. Any takers on the floor for general debate? Any takers on the floor for general debate? Or any member of the committee or the vice chairperson or the co-chair, vice chairpersons of that committee would like to raise the issues that the committee discussed? We will accommodate the chair, who is now in the House, to make his submissions on Bill number 15 of 2026. Honourable members, the reports to this, all these reports have been downloaded on our gadgets. So you just go to documents and the committee reports, you find they're all available there. Chairperson, you have the floor, sir.
Thank you, Right Honourable Deputy Speaker, and apologies. I rise to move that this House do adopt the report on the Joint Parliamentary Committee on Legal and Budget on Bill number 15 of 2026, Insurance Amendment, that has been already moved by the Honorable Minister. Right Honorable Deputy Speaker, in undertaking our responsibility, the committee engaged the Honorable Minister of Finance, also the RBM, to examine the policy rationale, legal implications, and practical effect of the proposed amendments. Right Honorable Deputy Speaker, the bill before the House seeks to align the Insurance Act of 2025 with the Public Finance Management Act by establishing a harmonized legal framework for the administration of unclaimed monies held by insurance companies, including monies remaining unclaimed following the liquidation of insurance entities. In this regard, the committee established that the bill neither introduces a new policy nor alters the ownership of such monies. Rather, it provides a consistent administrative framework under which government assumes custody of unclaimed monies until they are lawfully claimed by their rightful beneficiaries. Right Honorable Deputy Speaker, as you heard, the bill also brings in an amendment to clean up the usage of wage checks in some of these bills so that we are consistent with the bill that this House has just passed on the bills of exchange. So allow me, Deputy Speaker, not to belabor the point, because this House has really acquainted itself with issues of moving monies that are unclaimed to the account number 1 using the Public Finance Management Act, but also issues to dispense with usage of checks. So this bill really is a cleanup on the payment system so that we remove the check references, but also put the money that is unclaimed back to the account number 1 using the Public Finance Management Act. I therefore move that the House adopts the report in totality. I beg to move.
Thank you, Chairperson. Seconder. Even the seconder has traveled. Can we request any member? I have of the 2 committees. Leader, just a minute, wait. Let's get, I have your list of members here, honor members of this committee. We need someone to rise and second this. The honorable member for Chikwawa West. Is not? Honorable member, you're not a member of this. Is Rumpi West a member? Zomba Matia, is he a member? Rumpi West, you are a member and we recognize you, sir. You have the floor.
First Deputy Speaker, sir, Rumpi West stand here in agreement with the submission represented by the chair of the committee. We had several bills speaking to each other. The intention is finally to be concluded within this submission. So the 2 committees unanimously agreed, and I am in support of the bill and the proposition. Thank you, First Deputy Speaker.
No member, you still have the floor for you to second the motion. The report.
Thereby, I second the report.
Thank you, honorable member. Thank you very much. Honorable members, the report has been presented and duly seconded. I now recognize, if there are takers on the floor, Chikwawa West.
Thank you very much, Second Deputy Speaker. I think mine, that time I seconded the report, but you said I'm not a member of the committee. But anyway, I just want to say today at 10 p.m. we'll be supporting the Scorchers as I've traced in this thing. So you can conclude, you can finish. The bill has already passed. Thank you.
Leader.
Yeah, thank you very much, Mr. First Deputy Speaker. At times, this house can be very, very interesting. Once again, I beg to move that debate on the bill on the floor be curtailed in order for the minister to wind up. We start with the chairperson, all right? I beg to move that debate on the report be curtailed in order for the chairperson to wind up. I beg to move.
Thank you very much, Leader. Honorable members, we have a motion on the floor. The motion is for the curtailment of debate on the report by the committee to allow the chairperson to wind up. Those of that opinion say aye. Those of the contrary opinion say no. The ayes have it and the motion is carried. Chair.
Thank you, Right Honorable Deputy Speaker. I would like to thank the whole House for unanimously agreeing with the two committees, the Joint Committee on Legal and Budget, for the report that was presented. I beg to move that this report be now adopted by the whole House. I beg to move.
Thank you very much, Chair. Honour members, we have a motion from the chairperson requesting the adoption of the committee report on Bill number 15 of 2026, Insurance Amendment. Those of that opinion say aye. Those of the contrary opinion say no. The ayes have it and the motion is carried and the report has been adopted. Thank you, honour members. My gadget is blank, no contributors on the bill. The debate, then I will recommend Leader for it to be concluded by the honourable minister. A motion to curtail debate, Leader.
Thank you very much, Mr. First Deputy Speaker. I rise to move that the debate on the bill be curtailed in order for the Minister of Finance to wind up. I beg to move.
Thank you, honour members. We have a motion on the floor. The motion is to curtail debate on the bill number 15 of 2026, Insurance Amendment, so the minister can wind up debate. Those of that opinion say aye. Those of the contrary opinion say no. The ayes have it and the motion is carried. Minister.
Thank you very much, Mr. First Deputy Speaker. I'm glad that this bill number 16 or 15, Insurance Bill Amendment, has received support by the entire House. It has received support from the spokesperson of the Malawi Congress Party, who is supporting this bill because of it serves two purposes. First, because it aligns the treatment of unclaimed money held by insurance and unclaimed funds, and it also modernizes payments or modernizing payments by introducing digital payments as opposed to payment of checks. So I think the bill has received support, and therefore I would want to beg to move that this bill be read for second time. I beg to move.
Thank you very much. Honourable members, we have a motion on the floor. The motion is the bill number 15 of 2026 be read a second time. Those of that opinion say aye. Those of the contrary opinion say no. The ayes have it and the motion is carried.
Committee stage, Bill number 15 of 2026, Insurance Amendment.
Honourable members, the bill is now at committee stage. I now recognize the Honourable Chairperson for the Social Affairs Committee to chair the committee stage. Honourable Chair, you have the floor.
Honorable members, welcome to the committee stage of Bill number 15 of 2026, Insurance Amendment. I wish to inform you that so far the chair has not received any notice of proposed amendments on this bill. If no one wishes to speak, I now put a question. The question is that clauses 1 to 4 stand part of the bill. Those of the opinion say aye. Those of the contrary opinion say no. The ayes have it. Therefore, the motion is carried. Honorable members, this marks the end of the committee stage of Bill number 15 of 2026. Thank you for your active participation. Thank you. Nkhani ya Wera Ntunda.
Thank you.
Report stage, Bill number 15 of 2026, Insurance Amendment.
Thank you very much. I now call the Honourable Minister to report what transpired at the committee stage. Honourable Minister, you have the floor.
Mr. First Deputy Speaker, I beg to report that Bill number 15 of 2026, Insurance Amendment, has passed through committee stage without amendments, and I therefore beg to move that the Bill number 15, 2026, Insurance Amendment, be read for the third time. I beg to move.
Thank you very much. Honourable members, we have a motion on the floor. The motion is a third reading of Bill number 15 of 2026, Insurance Amendment, be taken today. Those of that opinion say aye. Those of the contrary opinion say no. The ayes have it, and the motion is carried.
Third reading, Bill number 15 of 2026, Insurance Amendment.
Honourable Minister for third reading.
Mr. First Deputy Speaker, I beg to move that Bill number 15 of 2026, Insurance Amendment, be read for the third time and passed. I beg to move.
Thank you very much, Honourable Minister. Honourable members, we have a question and therefore put the question. We have a motion on the floor, so I therefore put the question that Bill number 15 of 2026, Insurance Amendment, be read a third time and passed. Those of that opinion say aye. I will retake that, honourable colleagues. Those of that opinion say aye. Those of the contrary opinion say no. The ayes have it, and the motion is carried, and the bill has passed. Now you might need to guide. We have only 15 minutes. We have already 3 bills as promised, but it's up to you, leader. We cannot request your opinion. Leader, you have the floor.
Mr. First Deputy Speaker, sir, members have worked extremely hard this afternoon to have passed these 3 very important bills. It is now my desire to beg that the House do adjourn early to allow for members to go and rest and prepare for tomorrow. I beg to move, Mr. Speaker, sir.
Thank you so much, honourable members. The motion from the leader that the House do adjourn earlier. Those of that opinion say aye. Those of the contrary opinion say no. The ayes have it, and the motion is carried. Honourable members, I see we've already moved the motion. I see a point of order. I will recognize you, honourable member. What has gone out of order, Chikwa West?
Thank you very much, First Deputy Speaker. Is it in order that the leader can just say we have to adjourn early, but not giving us the program for tonight from 10 p.m.? At least he could have told us where should we go and watch the Scorchers game. Thank you very much, First Deputy Speaker. Tikabangeza Scorchers, tikaibatse moto. Tikaibatse moto Scorchers. They are doing us proud. We have to be happy.
Thank you, honourable member. Leader is a man of principle, and from now to that time, he's going to make some communications possible on the forum where we can all meet as honourable members to celebrate the victory of the Scorchers tonight. Our neighbors, please bear with us, as tonight we are also winning. We will continue to be neighbors tomorrow after the win. So this is a message. This is a message to our neighbors. We are only doing you justice so you can go and participate in the elections. but we still love you as neighbors. Honor members, it is 16:49. I therefore adjourn the House to tomorrow, Thursday, 6th of August, 2026 at 9:30 a.m. House adjourned.
Well, that's how the House has concluded its business for today, Wednesday, the 5th of August 2026. A summary of business on the floor. The House has today passed 3 bills, and these bills are Bill number 14 of 2026, that's Pensions Amendment Bill. The bill seeks to amend the Pensions Act 2023 in order to provide for the administration of unclaimed funds held by pension funds, provident funds, and pension entities in accordance with the Public Finance Management Act 2022. And the bill is further intended to harmonize the Pensions Act 2023 with the Public Finance Management Act 2022. The amendments will enhance consistency, transparency, and accountability in the management of unclaimed funds within the pensions sector. And the second bill is Bill number 16 of 2026, Bills of Exchange. The bill seeks to discontinue the usage of checks as an acceptable bill of exchange in Malawi in light of declining national and global trends in the usage of checks and the operational inefficiencies generally associated with check payments. And the third bill is Bill number 15 of 2026, Insurance, that's Amendment Bill. The bill seeks to amend the Insurance Act 2025 to provide for the administration of an unclaimed money held by insurers and unclaimed funds arising from liquidation of insurance entities in accordance with the Public Service Finance Management Act 2022. This bill, among other things, seeks to remove reference to the use of checks as a form of payment of insurance premiums under insurance policies. The provided amendments in this bill are aimed at enhancing consistency, transparency, and accountability in the management of unclaimed funds within the insurance sector. All the bills that were passed were followed by the adoption of reports by the Joint Parliamentary Committee on Legal Affairs and Budget, which had considered and scrutinized them. The first Deputy Speaker of Parliament, Honorable Victor Musowa MP, has since adjourned the House to tomorrow, Thursday, the 6th of August 2026 at 9:30 in the morning. Mmenemu ndi momwe zayendera zokambirana za phunguliro lachitatu pa 5 August 2026. Nyumba ya Malamulo yakambirana ndi kuvomereza mabilu atatu. Bill yoyamba ndi Bill number 14 ya chaka cha 2026 imeneyi ndi Pensions amakonzanso. Bill iyi ndiyo khudza dongosolo loyendetsera ndalama za anthu opuma pa ntchito imene ili pension. Cholinga cha bill iyi ndi kuluzanitsa lamulo lokhudza ndalama za anthu opuma pa ntchito la 2023 ndi lamulo lokhudza ndalama za boma la 2022 kuti pakhale ndondomeko zokhazikika komanso kuti dongosolo la ndalamazi lidzichitika poyera komanso moyenera ndi mopindulira omwe akukhudzidwa. Ndipo bill yachiwiri ndi Bill number 16 ya 2026 imeneyi ndi Bills of Exchange yomwe cholinga chake ndi kusintha lamulo loti boma lisiye kugwiritsa ntchito cheke ngati njira yolipirira ndalama kutsatira zovuta zosiyanasiyana zomwe zimadza ndi ndondomeko ya cheke. Ndipo bill yachitatu ndi Bill number 15 ya 2026 imeneyi ndi ya Insurance kukonzanso, ndipo bill iyi ndiyokhudza kuteteza katundu ndi ndalama yomwe cholinga chake ndi kukonza malamulo omwe adawakhazikitsa kale a 2025 okhudza kayendetsedwe ka ndalama zosatengedwa ndi eni ake pa zifukwa zosiyanasiyana kuchokera kwa kampani zoteteza ndalama ndi katundu. Mwazina, bill iyi ikhazikitsa dongosolo loyendetsa ndalama zomwe zinali m'manja mwa makampani a insurance zomwe azithetsa komanso kuthetsa kugwiritsa ntchito macheke pa dongosolo la ndalama zoterezi. Cholinga cha zonsezi nkuti pakhale ndondomeko zokhazikitsa komanso kulimbikitsa kuti dongosolo la ndalamazi lidzichitika poyera komanso moyenera kwa eni okhudzidwa. Nyumbayi yavomereza mabilu atatu onsewa kutsatira malipoti a komiti yoona za malamulo pamodzi ndi komiti yoona za budget atatha kuwaunikira. Pakadali pano achiwiri oyamba kwa spika la nyumba ya malamulo olemekezeka Victor Musowa MP ayimitsa ngayi zokambirana kufikira mawa lachinayi pa 6 August 2026 nthawi ya 9:30 mmawa. Malo mwanzanga onse ogwira ntchito kuno ku Parliament Broadcasting munali ndine Chikondi Manjawira Kashere.